Welcome to another edition of Better Communications Results, the vidcast. Alrighty, lots of traffic here, so I'm going to be stuck here for a little bit as I try and get out onto the road. But today I want to talk about creativity. Now, I've been reading Sir Ken Robinson's book, The Element. It's about creativity and finding your own spot in the world, which is an incredibly creative place for you. Not creativity just as in art and music, but creativity as in whatever we bring to our particular field of endeavour. It's finding that one place that really, and it doesn't have to be just one place, several places, whereby you just feel as though you're in the zone, as it were, to use another phrase. And I saw Sir Ken at the IABC World Conference, and of course I'd seen him on that TED video as well, talking about education and talking about creativity. And having seen him live and on the video, the words just leapt out of the book as I read them. I could hear him saying those words, and the way that he intonated, the way that he paused, incredibly funny and perceptive man. Now he makes an interesting point with himself that he finds his element, as it were, on stage. When he's on stage talking about the things that he's passionate about, and that's where he suddenly, 5 minutes disappears and becomes 1 hour. What he thinks is 5 minutes is in fact 55 minutes have flown by. I get that as well when I'm on stage and sort of talking about what I love to talk about. I also get it to an extent in my writing, but even though I have some facility with words, writing isn't something that comes easy. Writing is hard. Once I start, it becomes easier, but it's the start process that is the absolute killer. And so it made me reflect on creativity and how we inspire creativity within us, not just waiting for the muse to happen, but can we do things? Are there little tricks that we can perform upon ourselves to engender these creative feelings and creative thoughts? Now, it so happened that I had an instance yesterday where I needed to actually bring forth a whole heap of creativity on a project that I'm working on. And my normal environments where I would normally sit down, just they weren't right. They weren't creating any creativity. And I knew that I had to step out of my comfort zone. I knew I had to go somewhere different. I tried my local cafe. That didn't work. I ended up sitting in the garden, alternating between pouring down with rain and bouts of extreme sunshine, beautiful sunshine. But the rain became more and more, so I ended up sitting in at the back of our place, underneath a sort of a shelter, underneath the roof line, using the table tennis table as my own workspace, and being creative there and coming up with the thoughts and the ideas that I was looking for, the sort of the leading points. And it was there that we got cars turning and cars doing all sorts of funny things. That's a very funny looking car. What on earth is that? It's a Nissan Micra. Well, and it's a curious pale pink. Ugh. Okay, so I had to take myself right out of my comfort zone. So I was sitting there in a t-shirt in the middle of winter in a very rainy part of the Adelaide Hills. Not the warmest spot on the face of this earth, you might think. And you would be right, it wasn't. I was freezing, I was shivering at some stages with cold. My hands were turning blue. But it took me out of my comfort zone, and I got very creative very, very quickly. It exhausted me, that burst of creativity, plus just the sheer physicality of it in terms of freezing. But it did take me out of my comfort zone. So the question that I ask of you then today is, well, how do you put yourself into a place where creativity is able to be brought forth, or rather it channels itself through you? what do you do? What little tricks do you have to inspire you, to let the muse flow through you? I look forward to hearing some of your thoughts and ideas. And until then, and until next time that I pop one of these videos together, because they're supposed to be every day. I wanted to do one every day, but workload at the moment just precludes me from being able to do it. But until such times as I'm able to get in front of the camcorder again, remember to take some communications risks and communicate with passion.